Tech Advisor results. Is the juice worth the squeeze? The questions I get are always on case studies, results, what do I expect? Do you have any testimonials? The like. So that's what we're going to go through today, is to show what you can expect, how it works, and you get to make the decision from there. So as the biggest tech challenges that business leaders are facing today, we'll go through the kind of the top six. Number one, cybersecurity, increasing threat. This isn't such an expensive type of deal. It costs almost $5 million is what an annual data breach is cost. An average data breach is costing right now. So that is something to look at every step of the way. Cost optimization and vendor complexity. This is huge. This is where we tend to get 30 to 40% savings across the board in all different areas because of the multi-layers of stuff like that and doing deep dives in that. How about the rapid change of technology and overload? This usually stretches teams out to where it's really tough for them to take care of this, and that's happening to the speed of what is going on with that. Legacy systems. Oh man, there is nothing worse than having these old systems that are outdated. They don't talk to any of the new tools, the new productivity, efficiency tools, and getting the ROI on that is huge on efficiency and workload. Talent and skill gaps. There just is not enough talent and skill gaps on most teams to be able to cover everything and to keep up. Usually they get used to managing the current systems, and they can't be looking proactively and spend all the time necessary to get stuff to go to the next level just because they're putting out fires. And then the last part, AI. We will go into AI at a good step here on what's happening and what we've accomplished on the enterprise level, but that's true. And that is what's great for all of this discussion today when it gets to tech advisors and what they can help you is no one's too big or too small to get help and get results. Because whether you're a one-person operation that is on tech and you need help on that, one phone line, we can help you with that and clear up to your Fortune 10 companies or Fortune 100 companies. We have the bandwidth to take care of that as well. So let's rock and roll and get into this. My name's Curtis Kimball. You can reach me at curtiskimball.com, and I'm here. Please subscribe if you're serious about scaling smart, not just spending more on tech. It needs to be an investment. It needs to have ROI, and it needs to pay for itself. So let's get going. Here's what Tech Advisors features. I want to talk about, we're getting on the same page on what tech advisors and the ones I work with to take care of, to get you all this ROI and all the results I'm showing you. One, we have tech strategy experts that have over 100 years of combined experience in the tech sector on all different ranges from A to Z. I call it from Alexander Graham Bell to Zoom. It's everything from phones to digital to AI, you name it. And what they do is they will customize these programs after talking to you to get to your goals, your benchmarks, your budget, and the like. Their channel agnostic approach, so there's no vendor bias. They're just trying to get you the right solutions long term because they're going to work with you long term. So this isn't one and done. And that's where we get into where there's a dedicated support team. A lot of people, and especially in IT, have had people sell them systems and then there's no support afterwards. Not in our tech advisor world and not in our world, because they have direct lines to all their stuff and they can usually get you answers faster than on your own. So you do have a support team. And then finally, the system is set up where they only win when you win. And I think that's important because you want to be on the same side of the table, have alignment of goals, and that's the way success works. If you have a vendor and a client and you have two competing goals, now someone has to win and someone has to lose. I want a win-win situation. That's why we always call it a no-risk situation with no sweat, because you've got people helping support your team to get this done. So everything with this, there's always no cost assessment to evaluate the gaps, the opportunities, and the ROI potential. So let's take a look just from the 30,000 foot view level. Tech results and what we see typically is when you're looking for service and equipment, you need to find the best. The potential is a lot of times is to save from 30 to 80%. And that's because the tech advisor team has over 800 relationships with everything from software to hardware and everything in between. And they get this preferential pricing and know how to get it, where unbundle stuff and get you the right systems and the right products at the right price. Now, just on a recurring tech spend, these same type of relationships, a lot of times usually will get you like a 10 to 30% savings off of this, just the stuff that's every day happening, and you don't even have to make a change or anything like that. Licensing, SaaS, telephony, everything. So those are some of the basic results, but let's dive into more than just the overall results. Let's take a look in different stuff from efficiency and everything. And here's some hidden tech cost leaks that you typically see or can't see on the P&L that we can also help find and drive these prices out. And that's everything from ghost expenses, everything being billed, auto renew contracts, cloud bloat, redundant SaaS tools. We talked about that. We'll show some results on that. Unused connectivity. I've got someone that has 5,000 licenses and 4,000 people. So there's a lot of fat that, and bones are buried that can get eliminated through this. Lack of ownership. Sometimes you have so many different departments that you just need somebody to come in and do a deep dive and connect the dots to make sure and see that you're getting the proper tools at the right price at the right place. All right, let's go into some Tech Advisor results. Here's something that happened with Microsoft changes recently with their had price increases going up. Look at this. They were getting ready to renew and they didn't know. We took a deep dive in there, and at the bottom here, you'll see that we found 141 grand in a 3-year renewal that was happening. And that wasn't just for 1 year, that was for 3 years. So that ended up a $425,000 savings by just having a meeting with us. And that is the kind of thing that happens without talking, without having someone come in and spend the time to take a look at what's going on, how you're structured, what contracts you have. Sometimes this stuff would just auto renew and you'd be out, almost $500,000. So that's huge in something that our Tech Advisor teams do. Another example of that was, we talked about the hospital group where they had 5,000 licensed but only 4,000 employees, able to cut that back and get just the proper amount of licenses for the proper amount of people, and just those as those go along. Also, with some of the SaaS services, we saved the company over 42% because they were paying for bundled features that they weren't even using. So you want to deconstruct those bundles to see if they make sense. Bundling can make sense, but you got to make sure the features are being used. All right, let's take a look at a private equity case study on how we helped them, where they had 8,000 different locations and spread this out. Well, we were able to take a look at all of their IT expenses throughout the whole thing, and then get them consolidated pricing. They didn't have to change anything. They still got the best in class in pricing, but they were able for each port code to work with the individual separately, get billed separately, so they could keep their separate, but they got to capitalize on that. And look at the bottom here. This is what is amazing. It looks like you can't see it because it's below my line, but there was a $28.8 million savings. So nearly a $29 million savings from doing this strategy where we were able to help them out. And, a lot of times with high growth, especially in mergers and acquisitions and, private equity companies where you're buying stuff, the stuff doesn't get redone, and you have hundreds of agreements across all these different types of businesses. And that's why someone like us and the Tech Advisors can help you sort through that. All right, so let's take a look at some AI enterprise results. Hey, we all know how important AI is, and this is at the highest level. And these are tailored AI solutions delivered in days. I don't know how they do it, but it's amazing. Our business partner has done this and services a lot of the Fortune, top Fortune 100. And let's take a look. There's no charge for your proof of concept. You can get this stuff done immediately. But let's take a look at some of the stuff that has been successful. A global investment bank, 10 times faster turnaround investment and client reports. A lot of this unstructured data stuff. If you have unstructured data that you don't know what to do with it, or you can't sort through it, that's costing you money, and that's costing you big money. Let's top 3 commercial real estate firm. They're forecasted to save over $120 million annually because of some productivity gains. Multi-line insurance provider. So these are the big boys businesses. We can help you at all levels, even if you're not this big. But if you are this big, imagine in days being able to get some AI stuff figured out, and you don't pay for it until it's working and you're happy with it. All right, insurance provider being able to process claims 3 times faster in the claim settlement. The velocity of money and the velocity of getting work done and the efficiencies are amazing. A Fortune 500 industrial tech company, 40% faster ticket response time. Imagine taking care of your customer service, your customer experience, and taking care of that 40% faster. That just simplifies the business, makes your customers happy, makes them more likely to buy from you again, makes them more likely to refer for you. Amazing results. A leading U.S. retail services chain, 97% reconciliation accuracy, and speeding that up. A lot of times, how long does it take people to, reconcile at the end of each month? You would like to be as fast as possible, and sometimes that can take days or weeks, which really affects reporting, affects public companies. There's just some amazing results can be accomplished here. Now, here's another leading private equity firm. This is on the AI. This is a different case study. 70% faster investor reporting cycles. We were talking about that. Velocity, business is at the speed of velocity now, and that is how you want to be looking at that. So as far as AI goes, enterprises are flooded with these tools. There's a big report recently with Fortune and Forbes that 95% of the stuff through an MIT study are really kind of stalled and aren't even working out. But here's the way we got down here at the bottom. We land on the right use case for your business, deliver a production-ready solution within days. And this has been just amazing. And you don't start to pay or subscribe until you're happy with the outcome. And so you're going to see, contact me and set this up. We can have a call and get that rolling to see if it can make sense for you. You really need to take advantage of this now. We know that how fast business is going. If you're not the leader, then you're lagging and you're chasing after them. All right, so now we're going to go into some individual case studies. Here's a 1,450 retail chain location. Took control of their IT chaos. Their IT was underwater. The contracts were a mess. We negotiated some huge wins. We saved them 18% off connectivity and saved them $740,000 just on toner. So managing the services from printers and everything, a wide scale of what we can do. 2,300 different devices were deployed, and new systems improved, and the service, that's one great example. Okay, how about healthcare? We all know healthcare has lots of battles, especially with legacy system, old stuff, end-of-life technology. They need to do it. This is some stuff that helped us here. We had over 100 locations with five call centers. Need to modernize that, get them HIPAA compliant. Other vendors didn't fit. We deployed, and they didn't have to. They didn't have the staff. They didn't need the staff because we took care of it. The tech advisor team makes it with a no sweat thing where they do all the implementation and help you out. And now they can route their calls anywhere, anytime. All right. How about a dental group helping their security? And I'll get into a little AI or some cybersecurity issues. And we know how difficult these are, where the cybersecurity is now nearly $5 million per data breach is kind of what the average is, just a little under that, about 4.89 or something. It's really close. But just these small hacks and what they can do, we're able to help this dental company. We cut the cost in half. And they love that, and we got it all done within 30 days. So not only did they amp up their protection, cut their costs in half, and just such a win-win there. Okay, and dealership phone systems. We've talked a lot about different phone systems and how that works. Here's a car dealership, 7 phone systems, 0 control. Couldn't see what was working. Now they can track every lead, every call, every win. And that's a great way to get the service department tied in, the salespeople selling faster, and get the whole customer experience. Because that business is certainly one built on referrals, but that is a way to be a better leader and more control. All right, cybersecurity. There's some of the stuff we talked about, almost 5 million in a data breach. And these are the questions. Is your cloud security strategy working? How quickly can you respond? You got to be able to respond quickly. Are you audit ready today? And also, is your endpoint protection current? So we can help you if you need to take a look at that deeper, but these are expensive. Everybody knows this is the kind of stuff that keeps you awake at night for sure. So here's some simple questions I have, and these all have big opportunities for you. And that's, when's the last time you reviewed your tech spend? If it's been a couple years or so, stuff has evolved so fast. There's a lot of probably meat on the bone there to help save you some money. Has your internet network been reviewed in the last 2 years as well? And then data security, we talked about that. What keeps you up at night? How many tech vendors are you managing? Tech advisors are great in helping cut that down, because they'll take that burden on, because they will get you the quotes, and then so that comes to you where you get to make the decisions, but you're not dealing with each of these tech vendors, and because that can end up a full-time job. And then the big thing is your team maxed out, but growth demands more efficiency. In most corporate settings, there's just not enough people to go around. They spend their time, in every department, service, IT, sales. They're usually spread a little thin because they're trying to maximize efficiency. Well, in IT, with all these initiatives, because IT touches every department. It is not just the IT department anymore. It is everywhere. It permeates everything. And then not only does it permeate that, then you have, bad people trying to hack in and take all your stuff and, do ransomware and that sort of stuff. So, and then the other part is, hey, growth. We need to grow, and growth is fun. But is your tech ready to support your growth plans? Those are those simple questions. So here are all the great reasons to talk, and that is constant tech sector changes, growing and downsizing. I mean, the growth, as you're growing, you need to, keep corralling and herding and making sure you're not overpaying and have too many licenses. If you're downsizing or consolidating, same type of deal. Let's see what makes sense, because you might have some unused licenses and the like. Mergers and acquisition, always a great place. Moving, opening new locations. You need to outsource. This is a great way to get stuff checked out, save money, time, and reduce risk. That's what tech advisors do, is really help you on the money, time, and reduce risk. No cost assessments. And it all starts with a conversation. You can go to my website, curtiskimball.com, book a time to talk. And, it's the goal is just to have all good things start with a conversation. Book a tech strategy conversation. Let's chat. Let's see what initiatives you would like to prioritize. And let's see if we can help you out. And it either makes sense or it doesn't, but it all starts with a conversation. And if it doesn't work out, we shake hands, part friends, and wish each other the best. Thank you very much.